Some may think I'm a little crazy, and they could be right, for spending so much time on a $10 flashlight. But I love to fix things, and I love photography and videos, so why not? The flashlight on the left is what I'll be working on today. My son gave me this flashlight because he couldn't fix it. He has one just like it that he's dropped 1,000 times, no problem. But this one quit working after he dropped it. So why is that? We'll find out. It's really nice to have a good little voltmeter. This one is a Sears, and I think I paid about $10 for it when it was on sale, and it was so good I went back and bought another one to use at my shop. A meter like this can be used to check continuity, which means that you have a good connection between 2 points. And also it has a 9 volt and a 1.5 volt battery check feature, and that in itself can make this meter pay for itself. Instead of guessing at whether a battery is good or not, now you can test it very easily. You can check AC voltage in your home, you can check DC voltage in your car, and this meter will also let you test the amperage of a battery up to 10 amp. Testing anything more than 10 amps will blow the fuse. And there is a fuse cover on the back of this meter. The arrow in this photo shows the continuity check, and there is a little beep that will sound when the connection is good. You can check resistance in a circuit, and you can check resistors. I use this meter almost every day, and usually I use it most for checking my batteries in my video and audio equipment. You don't have to have a meter, you could use a test light, but what I'm doing today is far easier done with a meter. You will need a good soldering iron and rosin core solder. Rosin core, of course, for electrical connections only. And a good soldering iron like this can be bought at Radio Shack, and Harbor Freight has them too, and they're not expensive. These locking medical pliers called forceps really come in handy in removing small wires and clamping small wires together, and for other purposes like removing splinters. And it's a really good thing to have. I have several pairs of these, and I use them for fishing too, to pull the fish hook out of a fish. The first step after removing the LED assembly in the lens is to check for voltage between these 2 points. Switch on, of course. Now if you have no voltage and the batteries are good, you need to remove the switch and check it. And since I had no problem with my switch, I didn't remove it, so that's not part of this video. If you have no voltage here, like I say, you need to check the switch, but also check the battery carrier, which holds 3 AAA batteries. If the voltage checks good here, then we'll move on to find out what the problem with this flashlight is. Your voltage will vary slightly depending on the brand and condition of your batteries. Here I show 5.85 volts. With the meter set at the 20 volt reading on volts DC, of course. You can see the screw-on lens at the right upper of this photo. Both the switch cap and the lens cap are sealed with an O-ring seal to make this flashlight waterproof. This flashlight, by the way, is aluminum and very durable. And now the continuity beep. And here you can see the O-ring seal, the switch, and the carrier for the batteries. So I know I have battery voltage, so I know the problems in the LED assembly. And the lower arrow shows the minus contact for the battery, and the upper arrow, of course, shows the center contact, the plus for the battery. This LED assembly on this Ozark flashlight is not meant to be taken apart, but you can use a utility knife or razor blade and slice off the little plastic dots that are melted that hold it together. This shows a diode assembly with the center contact and circuit board removed. This is a small circuit board within that LED assembly, and it has only one part, a resistor. As you probably already know, resistors can cut voltage down as would be needed for this LED. They don't operate on much voltage at all. This small circuit board is pressed into two slots, which you can't see very well here, but two slots in both sides, and you can use some needle nose pliers or those forceps to pull that circuit board out. The battery contact has to be bent slightly to reinstall it in the slot B. And here's another view of that circuit board resistor in the contact. As you can see here, this resistor was poorly soldered to this circuit board, and when my son dropped it, the weight of this resistor let it pull away from where it was supposed to be, shown by the arrows. My first attempt to solder this resistor back failed because there just wasn't enough wire at point A to go into the hole point B. Resistors are not easily damaged by heat, but you can clamp those forceps on point A to act as a heat sink that will draw heat away from that wire when you solder it and not let the heat go into the resistor and possibly ruin it. You can buy little heat sink clips at Radio Shack, but a paper clip would do just as well. And yet another view of that circuit board, and you can see where the printed area is on the circuit board, showing how the resistor is supposed to go. Because the wire on this resistor was so short, and that probably was the cause for it not being properly soldered in the first place, I had to add a small section of wire soldered to the board first, then cut to the length I needed and soldered as shown here to the resistor. These bands on this resistor shown by the arrow, the white arrow, determines the resistance of the resistor, and you can find a chart online how to read those lines to know what the resistance is. Resistors are very inexpensive, and Radio Shack has them, and you can even buy them in assortments. Now, after the resistor is resoldered, I'm checking the voltage at the LED assembly, and you can see that the resistor has cut the volts down to 3.19. And here is a view of that, and it's fixed. I found this quantum flashlight at Harbor Freight, 588 lumens, and it was on sale for $10. The tip of the flashlight, the lens, pulls in and out to zoom. So this is the new Ozark Trail 200 lumen that I just bought. And this is the Ozark Trail 100 lumen that I repaired. The batteries in the flashlight I repaired were weak, and I didn't have any here with me. And this is the new flashlight that I bought at Harbor Freight. And it has a zoom feature. It has a dim feature. It has a strobe feature. And it's really well crafted. It's called a Quantum, and it was $10 on sale. And it's all aluminum construction, really well made. Now, the only thing I can say is I don't know about the long-term durability, but I can say that the long-term durability for the Ozark flashlights is excellent.